Now going to be walking around with the camera out here. Now that the storm is moving far enough away that it's just left with the winds. Let's see if we can find some damage around here. I don't know what it's look at. There's no flooding nearby. This area is not called Ridgewood because someone thought the name was nice. It's one of the highest points in the borough. So I got something over here. Yikes. That's nasty. And mind you, this place, this high school over here is one of the city's shelters. What the hell is the horrible mirror around here? Occupied police car. Park over here looks alright. There's someone left their dog in the car.
Around the corner.
Not much along this area as far as I can tell. The locals are already back in the park. There's a down branch. Neither rain nor wind, nor risk of being killed by a falling tree shall keep these people from their football, as they like to say. That was me just tripping. Let's go down this block. So far nothing major. So give it a look. leaves, which should make cleaning up once fall comes a little easier. They're all on the ground already. A year ago, this area took a pretty big whack from a sudden tornado spawned by a thunderstorm that just the front that rolled through. It was a 100-mile long swath of red on a radar map, and so they spent a lot of time afterwards, a good month or so, coming around and just cutting the power wires away from the trees. Most of these trees are fairly young as trees go. Most of them are only about 30, maybe 40 years old. The primary tree in there used to be the Dutch elm until like 1970s, when this started getting into a tree infection, the Dutch elm blight, and replaced it with most of these trees of various species. The problem was the elms were hypoallergenic and these aren't. Spring. Nothing down there from what I can see. Yeah. Car behind me. This vehicle looks alright. I mean, that storm hit a year ago. It actually caused so much damage that you can see these cornice structures and cornice things in some of the buildings. Like there's one down here in the corner. It's actually like I think that 10 actually was ripped off several buildings a few blocks from where I'm standing at the moment. Hospital, about another half-mile away, got its entire entrance destroyed. I must admit I was one of the ones who, when I heard the storm was coming, was in a massive panic attack. Then again, I'm a bit of a panicky person, I have to admit that right now. So if something goes up while we're out here, I'm going to just drop the camera and run. Loose branches lying around over here. A year ago, this street over here, you see the Short Avenue down there, that was just a mess. That was a walk for a day and a half at least. Fortunately, I really won't be able to go very far with this whole process because, well, the subway's not running, the buses aren't running, and I don't have a driver's license. What's the damage department around here? So I'm heading towards the tip I got from a fellow before. The neighborhood runs roughly from the park I showed you at the beginning. It's about 1.5 miles in that direction. This is its only two-way. Go south. Go the whole length of the neighborhood in this. This is a Verizon building. Here, a couple of trees have been cut down the past already over here. This pole doesn't look so good. Okay, here we go, palmetto. Like a musty, I guess almost sojy smell in the air. We got almost 6 inches of rain in the last 24 hours, so the sewer probably can't handle that much. This park over here took a bit of a hit last year. There's still some fences that haven't been fully repaired. This last time I came this way, it was still hanging loose. There's some bigger trees down behind that handball wall that actually filled up half the court for about 2 weeks after the tornado. This over here is Forest Avenue Station. It's the M subway line. Today on the weekend there's only really a shuttle for a couple of stations. You have to transfer to continue to Manhattan. But today, since yesterday afternoon, it's been silent. This is the first time they've actually had to shut the system down because they're afraid of the weather. It's been this particular structure here opened in 1915. The oldest structures date to the late 1880s. It's about 2 miles away from here. This place is almost a ghost town. Usually, this is Forest Avenue here, and usually there's cars galore and buses galore. this area, a few blocks away, you follow the train line of the two stops, is the main transfer point getting between Brooklyn and Queens on the bus system. And another 2 blocks the direction the camp is currently facing is the main local depot for their storage and maintenance and everything, Fresh Pond Depot. And because the depot's there, most of the bus lines in there would pass through this area. This particular stop gets 3 of them, one with the extra limited service, which they for some reason signed separately. I'm gonna hike along this back to some of the other main streets and see what we can find. The camera has an hour of memory, so I've only used about 20% of it, so let's see what we can get. The winds still haven't completely gone away yet. Since we're on the backside of the storm, the winds are coming the direction at the moment. Little lake over there. Down wire over there. I think it's cable wire though. You can never really tell from distance. Let's see what's going down straight down there. Let's go a few blocks over. This little white SUV here, the little Ford, from the MTA. He's probably checking the route of the bus line here, the Q39, to see if they can restart that route. You can just see how important trimming the trees were last fall when the tropical tornado came. They just ripped a nice big hole right through here for the power lines. They'll get snagged and knocked down. There's a nice big branch lying down the street. I guess that tornado really was a bit of a help. Took down all the weak branches from last year. Shot of this. I'm carrying a still camera with me at the same time. Let's keep walking. Let's head up to Fresh Pond Road. Pop up there and I guess come back down again. See if there's anything up that direction. Yeah, 3 seconds like this you gotta be worried about. He's gonna give a few to sway in him, and I'm just gonna run underneath. And this guy over here always had a bit of a sense of humor when he put up his signs. That's interesting. Well, this one's actually got some mushrooms growing out of it. Again, I'm just going to make it the running. I don't want to become a statistic. It should be about... Yeah, it's 2:30 now. The eye of the storm passed over about 4.5 hours ago. Basically now all we really have what's left is the occasional strong wind gusts. I don't know if you can see it. The tree down at the ends that are really shaking. I went across the street. A reminder in here, in this town, there's no such thing as jaywalking.
يعني عايزك رجلك على طول بدال ما بين بنزين وانت.
This is Fresh Pond Road here. This is number 2 main street of the area. Hike along this for a couple blocks to see any on the side streets up here. And it's past here, the streets, right up to a railroad cutting, and you can't get out of there without coming back down here to Fresh Pond. All these big trees back here. The green poles and the wire you might see are for a Italian-American festival that takes over this street, usually around Labor Day weekends, or before or after that. It's a big thing. It's a bit of a headache. bus. 'Cause it ain't coming. Let's look down here down Linden until we get anything. The streets in this part of town are relatively clear. There's, the occasional loose branch, like a little twiggy thing.
Yeah.
See off in the distance, the direction the wind's blowing, there's a gap in the clouds. There's some sunlight. Could be here in 10-15 minutes, or maybe less the way that the wind's blowing.